Hey guys, JD Fishing back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about whether it's worth it or not to get the Buck Bantam BBW, so stay tuned. Alright guys, so this knife actually has a story behind it. This knife right here, Buck Bantam BBW, real true camo, this was my first knife ever. I got it at Smoky Mountain Knife Works when I had just turned 7. On a big family trip, and we went there. It's the biggest store, the biggest knife store in the world or United States, I forgot, but it's huge, it's great, and I whittled sticks with this all day every day that trip, and I whittled sticks all the time even past that trip. And then when I started carrying a knife, I wanted to carry this one, so I got it out of the safe, and little did I know there's a lot of liner rub. I'll put it up to the mic so you can hear it. I'm not pushing it towards the liner or anything, that's just how it is. From like so much whittling sticks and just being rough on this knife. I mean, I was 7, 8, 9 years old. I didn't have nice things. Well, I did, but like, you know what I mean. This is why we can't have nice things, that quote. Yeah, I sort of ruined the knife, but not really. And then I sent it into Buck. Customer service is great. I asked them if they could fix the blade centering on here, and they said no. And then, because they knew it had sentimental value, because you send in a little letter in a form of like what you want them to fix, and so they sent me a letter saying that they couldn't fix it, saying they were very sorry about that. And then they gave me 15% off coupon, sticker, and a new knife free of charge because it said so much sentimental value to me because it was my first knife ever. And so that's the backstory on this knife. Now we will talk about specs like length, blade steel, all that stuff, and then just the different aspects of the knife. So start off with the length of the knife. It is around 6 1/4 inches, as you can see right here, around 6 1/4 inches, with a handle length of, well, a grippable portion of about 3 inches, and a blade length of 2 3/4 inches, and cutting edge of like 2 5/8. So this knife, it's pretty evenly split. It's almost like half handle, half knife. But it's a good little knife. As you can see here, we have the sharpening trail, so you can make sure you get all of that. And then it's a 420 HC blade with a drop point, spear point configuration, and a hollow grind on the blade. And it's just a regular satin finish. But I've had to take corrosion off this a couple times. If you maintain your knives, that's not going to be a huge problem, and it comes off right easily. But that is one of the things about the blade that I do not like. But everything else about this blade is perfect. I mean, $30, you're not going to get a much better blade steel than 8CR13 MOV, 420 HC if you want an American-made knife, or maybe the occasional AUS 8, or yeah, those are really the only budget steels that you can find. There are the exceptions like the Reich P801, and it has like 14C 28N Sandvik steel, but that you wouldn't find that on an American-made knife, obviously. $30, nice little knife. Let's now go into pros and cons. We'll start with the cons first. There are no liners in this knife, so it doesn't feel much flimsier than if it did have liners, but it just knowing that it's there, you could just, if you squeeze it, you can feel there's just the slightest bit of flex there. Not horrible, but that is one of the downsides. Another downside, 420 HC, not the best steel, not the worst obviously, but for $30 you can't really get a much better steel than this. And another downside, there's no pocket clip, as you can see. It just is a pocket free floater, and that, I guess that has to work for some of y'all, or y'all could put it in the coin pocket and just grab the end of the knife, pull it out. a few different ways to carry, just no pocket clip. Now, the pros. There are no liners, which makes it extremely lightweight. So as you can see, that was a pro and a con. Some people don't like lockbacks, but here I find it as a pro. It is a smooth and loose lockback. By loose, I don't mean like a bad lockup, but like I can easily press the button. It works just like an Axis lock. And like action-wise, I could do this all day. And I have like the smallest dent in my finger from that. It's almost nothing. And it's very flickable. Well, not that time, but there we go. I can middle flick it. I could regular flick it with my thumb. I could just roll it out with my thumb. Lots of different ways I can open and close this knife. And that is one of the really big upsides to this knife, which is probably why I really like it. But this knife comes in, I think, 3 sizes. There's the BBW, which is the smallest one. I forgot what the other 2 were, but it's B something W. And if you don't have like small hands, like I'm a kid, so this fits my hands. But for my age, I do have fairly large hands, but I'm still a kid, so that doesn't really matter. But this knife fits my hands. But if you have any hands like bigger than like 15, 16-year-old hands, I guess, get the next size up. Because this, I could just barely get a 4-finger grip and it feels perfect. But once my hands get bigger, this knife is going to be a bit too small, and I'll be able to get like a 3.5 finger grip. And then I'll put a lanyard on and have to wrap my pinky around that. But it comes in lots of sizes, which is another pro to this knife. And that is basically it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I'm just letting you know I'm going to be releasing a video about like my Christmas haul, like HAUL, like what I got for Christmas. And you'll see that in more videos to come, all those items in that video. But Merry Christmas, guys. I hope you have a great winter break, and remember to go anywhere, fish everywhere. Bye, peeps.